Rabbi Shmouel Greisman has been the director of the campaign for the Children's Torah Scroll for over 3 decades. He is based in Jerusalem, Israel.
Erev Pesach it was, right before the day of Pesach. I was approached by Rabbi Ashkenazi of the Vad Rabbani Chabad and asked me that the Rabbanim would like for me to be in charge of the campaign. I undertook the campaign then, and ever since then involved in directing this campaign. A few days later, I get a phone call from Rabbi Klein, the secretary of the Rebbe, who also happens to be my brother-in-law. And the Rebbe says to him, Ruf dein Schwager, call your brother-in-law. Tutach in Séfer Torah. He's involved and active in the Séfer Torah. Ask him, how many children have bought letters already? I told him I'll have to count, give me a few hours. I sat down and counted, called back, and reported the names. When he went back into the Rebbe to report on the amount of children, he said the number at the time, the Rebbe made with his hands, Das ist mit dem ganzen Sturm. This is with the storm and the tumult and all the talk that we're doing about. That's all that came in. He said whatever he said, or maybe not all the names have come into the office yet. The Rebbe thought for a moment and then said, let him call again next week. And ever since then, every Friday, I would get a call from Rabbi Klein. The Rebbe wants to know how many children have already bought letters in Israel and throughout the world. Once somebody buys something, you have to acknowledge that the person bought a letter. The way to do it, the Rebbe said, is not an ordinary standard receipt, but it should be in the form of a certificate with pictures or drawings of the holy places of Israel. The Rebbe pointed out the Kaisel HaMaravi, the Kever Rachel, Maris HaMachpelah in Hebron, and also the Tzion of Rashbi, of Rabbi Shimon in Meron. And here the Rebbe said something new. The minig is, the custom is amongst Jewish people that are writing Séfer Torah, that the person is told which letter he got, which specific letter the person bought, or which page, or which pasuk. Although you have to do something, somebody bought it, tell him what he bought. Nevertheless, it is better to stop letting people know which letter they bought, especially children. Even though all the letters in the Sefer Torah are just as holy, and if there's one letter missing in the Torah, making no difference in which word, if it's a word of God's name or a word of something not pure or not good, if that one letter is missing, the whole entire Torah cannot be used. Nevertheless, the feeling that a child will have, that one child has a letter in God's name, and another child has a letter in a word that he thinks is not special, and worrying about it, therefore don't tell children which specific letter they have. The Rebbe also instructed that the letter should not be chosen by us, by the office, but a lottery should be made, a random connection between the child and the letter. But that one letter, the Rebbe said, is a vessel, is a vehicle to bring down God's blessing to the child and also his life in involvement in Torah mitzvahs. And it all starts from a letter. That's the importance of a letter in a Sefer Torah. Every Sefer Torah is covered by a cover. It's called a mento. The Rebbe drew what should be on the mento. The Rebbe drew a box, put a line down the middle, said that each side should be gimel tfachim. The Rebbe wrote the word anechi, which is the first word of the Aseret Dibros. He wrote a beis, gimel dalet hey, vav zayin ches tes. He said the pasuk Torah tziva lanu Moshe, Meirosha Kilas Yankiv, should be written underneath the tablet on the Eitz Chaim, the sticks, the pole that the Sefer Torah goes around, should have written on it 2 psukim, Torah tziva and the pasuk Eitz Chaim hi l'machazikim ba. Those psukim were on. It was in the middle of Tammuz that I was able to report to the Rebbe that there are enough letters. A week before the Siyum Sefer Torah that was supposed to be on Chaf Av, the Rebbe called in Rabbi Zalman Shimon Dvorkin, who was the rabbi of the community in Crown Heights, and appointed him to be his personal emissary, representative to the completion of the Sefer Torah. He should write the last letter of the Sefer Torah that's being written, and also said that since there are more Jewish children that don't have letters yet, so we're going to need a second Sefer Torah, a third Sefer Torah. So he should start and also write the first letter of the second Sefer Torah. The Rebbe sent with him $1,200 as his part in the writing of the Sefer Torah, in the parchment and the ink. Children from all over the country came. The writing of the letters was finished. The last letters were written in the Tzemach Tzedek Shul. From there we went down to the Kosel and would crowd at the wall that never full from no room to get into the entire area before the Kosel. Went back to the Tzemach Tzedek Shul for Hakafis, and then this connects the second Sefer Torah. The campaign started.